The assisted dying bill is looking as if it's in serious trouble. With 6 days to go before the Commons debates this and does its first vote, the opponents to the bill are seriously massing. Gordon Brown the other day was writing an article talking with great sensitivity about his own experience as the son of the manse, as his father, Church of Scotland minister, had clearly influenced him. He spoke about the pain of losing his 10-year-old baby daughter, Jennifer, who was born prematurely, suffered a brain hemorrhage while she was in an incubator. And he said that tragedy had convinced him of the value and the imperative of good end-of-life care. And what I think is going to become clear is Kim Ledbetter, who had come top in the private members' ballot, had been advised to consider the end-of-life care, the assisted dying plan, and now that she's done it, she is clearly not being encouraged that it's going to go ahead. The very government, the cabinet which was encouraging her, is now turning against her. So this debate is now getting a thumbs down from the Justice Secretary, Shabana Mahmood. She talks about touching on deeply ethical, legal and cultural questions, as indeed it does. She warns of a slippery slope towards death on demand. It reflects her belief that the state's role is to protect life, not to facilitate its end. The same thing is, of course, true about doctors. Citing scandals like Hillsborough and the Post Office Horizon debacle, she argues that state institutions cannot always be trusted with such grave responsibilities. Well, the whole point about Labour and the socialist experiment is the state institutions are there to be trusted with looking after us. So if she doesn't think this, then she's not part of this movement for socialism. I'm afraid I entirely agree with her, but it's strange that it's coming from the Justice Secretary of a Labour government. Her perspective emphasises the potential pressures the elderly, the disabled, the vulnerable might feel, a concern that she thinks is pivotal. Yet the immediate issue here lies not in abstract fears, but in the lived realities of families facing legal consequences for helping loved ones die with dignity abroad, particularly at facilities like Dignitas in Switzerland. And current laws disproportionately affect those unable to afford such options, creating a moral and financial inequity. And even those who can afford it, the relatives are often pursued through the courts or by the police. These relatives, already navigating profound grief, are criminalised under existing legislation, facing arrest and prosecution for what many see as acts of compassion. And Kim Ledbetter's terminally ill adults end-of-life bill seeks to address these disparities, proposing strict safeguards, eligibility limited to terminally ill adults with less than 6 months to live, approval by 2 independent doctors and a High Court judge, and Ledbetter's assurances of robust scrutiny and criminal penalties aim to counter these fears of abuse. Critics like Mahmoud, however, remain unconvinced, highlighting the inherent subjectivity of life expectancy predictions and potential cultural shifts normalising assisted death. Keir Starmer's neutral stance has left MPs to vote according to conscience, revealing divisions across party lines, while some like Stephen Kinnock support the bill. Prominent figures like Gordon Brown and Wes Streeting oppose it, the latter controversially citing financial concerns for the NHS. And the broader debate underscores conflicting values, respecting individual autonomy as opposed to safeguarding vulnerable populations. Mahmoud's intervention, while principled, risks overshadowing the pressing issue of unjust prosecutions. Without legal reform, families will continue to bear the dual burden of losing loved ones and facing criminal charges at the same time, a stark indictment of the current system's failures.